Hi guys, welcome back for another one. Today is a brand new series, the first time ever I am doing roster reviews on my channel, and I am joined by a very special guest, Maverick Ag 06.
What's going on, YouTube?
So in case you guys missed yesterday's video, it was a long one. I don't blame you if you skipped out on it or skipped through it a little bit, but those of you stuck through it, I do appreciate you. But anyways, he is someone that I completely trust, give an opinion on my own roster, that is whose advice I have taken many a times in the past. So I trust no one more to give an opinion on your roster than Maverick. So without further ado, we want to keep this in a quick format. So the first roster review we are doing today is on InfoDealer. Now guys, at the end of this, I will give you guys all the information you need to know if you're interested in these roster reviews yourself. I'll give it to you at the end, but we do want to get through these pretty quickly. So InfoDealer is a player that's been playing for about 700 days. His current focus in the game is on Dark Dimension 4, but he wants to look past Dark Dimension 4 and start planning for Doom Raids. So when he gets through that, or as he's getting through that, he can start building for that. And that's what we're going to do, review his roster and give him strong Doom Raid recommendations. All right guys, this is InfoDealer's roster. We have this broken down here on a spreadsheet, kind of break down his roster and each character that through different graphics and other cluster alliances data of characters that are viable for Doom Raids, and just his characters collection power in the thousands here on the side for quick reference. We're going to kick this off with Mystic. So go ahead, Maverick.
So Mystic, I mean, if you wouldn't mind go ahead and sorting his roster by the origin type.
Yep, got it.
Perfect. So, I mean, the standard setup here is pretty close to what he has with Thanos and Ebony Maw and Hela and Ghost Rider, and then Mordo is kind of the typical 5 when you don't have Doom unlocked, okay, and you don't have Silver Surfer. So when he gets through Dark Dimension 4, Doom immediately comes onto this team, and then you can take off somebody like a Ghost Rider or like a Mordo, and then as soon as you get Silver Surfer up to gear tier 15, level 80, because Surfer as one of the top 3 characters in the game needs to be there, yeah, you drop the other one. So realistically speaking, your ultimate final team, based on his construction right now, should be the Thanos, Maw, Hela, and then you add Doom and Surfer. Okay. But until then, I would do Ghost Rider and Mordo just to fill in the gaps.
Okay, and in case you guys need to know why some of these are highlighted with this little tan color, it's because it's the characters who already has a G15, just a quick reference. All right, next up is Tech. I'm going to go and filter for that.
So Tech, again, this is going to be where it's going to be anchored by Dr. Doom as soon as you have him unlocked. And then I'm not sure where his Kestrel is at, or if he has unlocked Kestrel, but yeah, this is going to be the first. This is going to be the first appearance of Kestrel. So yeah, bringing Kestrel all the way up to gear tier 15, that's going to be a key character. Then you want to fill out the base with Dr. Octopus. With Doc Ock is a legendary character who has a lot of support and ability to sustain. And then at that point, you can kind of pivot a little bit more based on your roster. So if you'll scroll back up real quick there. It's looking like Ghost and Minerva are going to probably be the best options for him, at least to start off with. Yeah. Shuri, if he maybe gets a good red drop or, something like that. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to put Ultron and Doctor Doom on the same team because there's not going to be enough room for all of the bots.
All right. Good enough. All right. Let's move on to Bio.
To me, this is the easiest one. You run the full symbiote team. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some versions of it where you have Black Bolt and Yo-Yo, but I don't see his Black Bolt and Yo-Yo coming close to his full symbiote team. So I think he's good here, just maybe tweaking the symbiotes and keep going with symbiotes for Bio.
Yeah. And in case they wanted to compare this, to their own roster, is Bio, as he has them now, I can tell you from personal experience, is good enough to do Bio in the Doom Raids. Just they won't one shot or may not survive through the boss node. I can tell you that from personal experience. All right, so moving on, let's go to skill.
So, I mean, he's got a decent base here. Obviously, you've got a couple characters that I've seen in various combinations, and 2 that I've seen in every combination, which is Night Nurse, who's one of the essential characters in skill, as is Baron Zemo. Then you've seen versions of it that have both Corvus and Proxima or just Proxima. Yeah. But realistically, if you're working on Doom Raids, the character so that you'll need Kestrel is going to be a key member of this team and is going to do a lot of the damage. And then you need Red Guardian built up for the tanking and the sustain. Him and Night Nurse should be able to, when built up properly, should be able to keep you upright long enough to let Kestrel do their thing.
And then would you still keep Proxima there without Corvus?
You could do Kit Proxima as the 5th without Corvus, or I have seen a lot of success for Nick Fury as the 5th on that team because of the synergy with Kestrel.
Okay.
Plus, he has all of the minions. Really, what you want to do in that case is just get as many people on the field as possible, get as many defense downs as possible, and just have minions pinging on anybody with defense down so that Kestrel will trigger her passive.
All right, great strategy there. All right, and let's move on to probably the one that he's struggling with the most, that's like least doom ready for him, is Mutant.
Okay, so there's 2 different options that you need to do with Mutant. Phoenix is a one and done, so we can just kind of set her off to the side. Yeah. And he's got the basis for 2 different teams. But what I see right off the bat is he's got that Jubilee. So I would push harder onto Astonishing X-Men than I would on X Factor for him, which should get him through the first 2 nodes very easily. And then eventually down the line, if he gets good red stars and stars on Longshot and Shatterstar, he can build what is the one shot killer on the boss node, which is both of the Dad Bros plus Sinister. Then you clone the long shot that appears at the top of the node, and then basically hit auto after that.
Great, Larry. Let's move on to our next roster review. All right, so our next roster review is Lurjay. Now, he sent this to me. He's looking to climb higher in Arena. He rarely has any Arena currency. You guys know how expensive the top end is. And he also needs a little help building the raid teams for Ultimus 7. So I had him send me some data, so we're going to take a look at that. This is his current Arena team. As you can see, it's pretty meta, but maybe a little underpowered currently. And this is what he had him send, what he's facing in Arena currently. And you can see here, you're not seeing a whole lot of meta characters around him, but you can also see because he's constantly changing what he's investing in, and other people are not, he's a little, CP wise, a little under all these other guys. So let's see what we can do to help him.
So, I love the idea behind what he's doing already. And if he could pour all the resources in his disposal into those 5 characters to help him in Arena, those 5 characters are going to serve him well in Arena, but also in War and campaigns. And you could theoretically put that together as the killer part of an Ultimus team. Okay. But that's we're talking about. That might take him a month to build that. So looking at what he has right now, I would pivot a little bit in the short term for at least for Arena offense and defense. Toss in that Emma Frost, that Symbiote Spider-Man, that Hela, and then maybe doing Kestrel and Silver Surfer and pouring more resources into those to start. So I would drop for temporarily, not permanently, but temporarily, I would drop the Dad Bros, drop Baron Zemo, use your, a 6 red star Emma Frost, the Symbiote Spider-Man, Hela, and, with Kestrel and Silver Surfer, there's the ability to spread defense down, do a lot of different stuff. Yeah. Those 3 will still synergize really well, and then really work on building up Kestrel and Surfer. And those 2 of the 2 super meta characters are going to really bolster his quick progress. And then once he's done with that, he can go back on Zemo and the Dad Bros and then kind of pivot and change at least his Arena offense that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think Symbiote Spider-Man and Kestrel pair really well with his, massive basic defense downs if you just add Skirmisher to them to make sure they stick. But yeah, he probably definitely could climb an Arena. Another thing that I want to call about Lurjay, me and him, had a Discord conversation, is that, he basically says that he rarely does more than 2 Arena attacks a day. I think my best advice for anyone, even Lurjay, is if you do those 2 Arena attacks and you're able to move forward the max amount, it's in your best interest to keep going for the full 5, because especially if you have a defense that can hold, if you can gain more ground than you lose every day, that's how you get to the top. I will say this, and this is something that I learned from you before I was even in alliance with you, was that I was in his position where I was only doing 2 Arena attacks a day.
but with the amount of resources that you get from the World Warrior milestones and how important arena attacks are in World Warrior milestones,
Yeah.
like doing your 5 arena attacks really makes things easier on your entire alliance, which will help you grow as an entire group. And also, the more that you are in arena, the more practice that you're getting, the better that you're getting at it.
All right, and then quickly before we move on to the next roster review we have to do, is there a way we can morph this into a good U7 team for him?
Yeah, I mean the 3 characters that he has right there, the Frost, Hela, Symbiote, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That is the core of a pretty decent Ultimus team.
Okay.
And then you can take some of his other characters like a Sinister to pair, or Carnage to pair, but like realistically speaking, if he just builds Kestrel and Silver Surfer, there's so much like healing, self-healing on that, that he should be able to sustain a decent amount of the way just with that team. It might benefit him to bring Minerva in there if he's struggling in a specific area, or to try to build up a tank like a Red Guardian, something like that, just to kind of balance out some of the healing and to get him a little bit more sustained.
Yeah.
But like Hela's going to do a lot of work just because of Greg. Pretty much everybody on there can heal. Frost can heal, Symbiote, Spider-Man, Hela. If he uses Kestrel and Silver Surfer and builds them up, they can both self-heal. So like, it's not gonna clear. We're at 7.5 right now, but 6.5, 7.0, 7.1, just at the power level that he is, he should be able to clear some nodes in there and put in some work for his alliance.
All right, sounds good. Let's move on to our next person. So our last roster review that we have up is from Gizmo, a player that's been playing for a little over 500 days. In his request, he really wants to make sure he's bringing the right characters to Dark Dimension. I clarified it is Dark Dimension 3, especially that of Global. And he also wants to make sure that he has the proper tunes he's investing in to help him further down the line in Doom Raid. So if we can specialize the two, we're going to. All right, so guys, also to let you guys know, I've talked to Gizmo. So what he really wanted to know on was the global Dark Dimension 3. The 5 names he sent me, he was curious about, which we're going to talk about, is Polaris, Sinister, Emma, Ghost, and Yo-Yo. And just in case you guys are aware, because I know a lot of you guys are probably now screaming, he needs Phoenix. He does not have Phoenix unlocked. So with that said, let Maverick jump right into it.
All right, let's get the easy stuff out of the way.
Okay.
So for Dark Dimension, especially in Global, and we've seen this in DD3 and in DD4, especially in DD4, Ghost and Sinister are the closest thing that you have to Essential for Dark Dimension. They're not. I wouldn't necessarily say that that any character at this point in Global is an absolute must, but a Ghost and Sinister are right there. You know what I mean? So, because Global and DD4 is probably the easiest section. So you can kind of do a little bit of variance, but yes, outside of Phoenix in Dark Dimension 3 Global, Sinister and Ghost are going to be at the very, very top of that list.
Okay.
And then Emma Frost is a fantastic third to pair with Sinister. Now, the other 2 characters that he had mentioned, I'm a little less excited about.
Okay.
We'll start with Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo, I mean, I understand why. The offense down is going to be really helpful for the sustain. But, what we're seeing from Yo-Yo just in general in all other game modes is that right now she's mostly a war defense character on a hybrid and humans team. And at the higher levels, you're not really using her in the Doom Raids because she's bio and you're talking about symbiotes. You're not really using her in U7 because you're probably using the symbiotes or Astonishing X-Men or some other hybrid team, and she's not really there.
Yeah.
Now, the other character that he wants, and I'm the biggest X-Factor fan in the entire world.
Yes, I can confirm that, guys.
Polaris, not probably the top end of the X-Factor team. You were talking about the Dad Bros. Mm-hmm. And I understand, like, you want to bring her up to take her as part of like an entire like built up X Factor team, but I just don't see it yet. Okay. If there was a 5th X Factor character, I would feel way more comfortable about. Yeah, you want to build X Factor and do it that way. I would feel way more comfortable about that. It's a much more incomplete team, and if you're wanting to build a single character for Dark Dimension purposes It's going to help you in other areas. I see he's got a pretty good Baron Zemo right there that's farmable in the raid store. You know, that's going to be way easier to get up higher than the Polaris.
Yeah.
Who works in the Doom raids with the skill section. Who is great as a solo plug and play character in war at his level. You know, so like that would be what I would recommend is maybe pivoting to a Baron Zemo. Rather than Polaris or Yo-Yo, because you don't need a full 5.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and if you really wanted to, like, at his level of gameplay, having Ultron at G14 is not a bad thing.
Okay.
You know, so like I would much rather see him invest in Ultron and Baron Zemo than Polaris and Yo-Yo right now, for use in all game modes.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So just to move on, we're going to cover the other 2 for Dark Dimension 3. Obviously, we just look at his roster and give him a good recommendation that, you know, maybe, you know, if characters have time for Doom Raids, be good. So it's like a Cosmic, which I think I pretty much know where this one's going to go. But go ahead.
I mean, he's got it pretty much set up exactly the way that you would want it. You know, Minerva has been a Dark Dimension queen in the past. Hela. I love the dad bros, and he's got some good dad bros there for his level. But realistically speaking, in order for me, my preference right now, Silver Surfer, Kestrel, then maybe the dad bros and Hela and Minerva. Like, you know, he's got 6 good options.
Right.
But the options 1A and 1B to me are Silver Surfer and Kestrel,
Nope.
and then any combination other than that. But for the purposes of Dark Dimension, you don't want to just bring Longshot or Shatterstar. You want to bring them both.
Okay.
And even if he isn't building them right now, farm Gravitonium every single chance you get. It's the second most valuable G13 piece after Alien Spores.
All right. So let's go into the very last one, which is City, which this is pretty much cookie cutter at this point, but we'll just, you know, reaffirm for, you know, those catching this roster review for the first time.
Sure, symbiotes.
That's
exactly what you need. We start with symbiote Spider-Man, then you do Anti-Venom, then you do Scream, and then you move on from there.
All right, and then just in case if anyone's really short on Alien Spores, any good secondary characters you would recommend either for him. I mean, it does become very tough, but I mean, if you think about Doom Raids, like which city character?
For sure. Yeah. So you know, because it's Dark Dimension 3 and there's not a separate legendary, Dr. Octopus is absolutely an option. I don't think
he's not unlocked yet.
He has him right. So for him, and I'm going to say this because I know he loves X Factor. Multiple Man is actually tricky in Dark Dimension because he kind of has a Hella Greg effect because all of his dupes are going to spawn, and then quite often they will taunt, and they will distract and absorb attacks that will then heal Multiple Man. So he kind of acts as like a protector style tank that would help the symbiotes get going.
Okay.
I would still prefer to have more symbiotes than add Multiple Man, but if he has the opportunity and is running out of Alien Spores, and I know that he's building an X Factor team because he is Longshot and Shatterstar, and because he's trying to consider bringing Polaris, I would say Multiple Man is more viable for Dark Dimension than Polaris is.
Are you interested in having your roster reviewed by Maverick and I in this quick format roster review, helping you out in a game mode or two? If you are, all you need to do is join my Discord. The link to that is in the description down below. Then all you need to do is find the video section, find roster reviews, and there you'll find the latest roster review application where you can submit your request to have your roster reviewed by Maverick and I in a YouTube format. So if you need help clearing any content in the game, don't hesitate, apply today. All right, guys, and that is this week and our pilot episode roster reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed this format. Very quick and to the point where you guys don't get anybody's roster. We're hoping to do 3 of these every week going forward as a brand new series. I do want to thank Maverick for committing his time to be a part of this series. So thank you, Maverick.
Appreciate you having me on. Glad to be doing it.
All right, but with that said, if you guys enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here and have not done so already, hit that subscribe button. And if you do not want to miss any future roster reviews that we will do here on this channel, hit that notification bell. And with all that said, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.